Why do so many people lose weight but fail to get that lean look? Well, if the scale is moving but your physique is not improving, here's what you're missing. Because in this video, I'm exposing 5 massive mistakes that are sabotaging your progress. And I'm breaking it all down using insights from some of YouTube's top creators. So you can finally get lean without the gym bro routine. Now we've got Jeff Cavaliere, Mr. Shredded 24/7, 365. And we're ranking these strategies from all the way at the bottom, that gym bro noise tier, to all the way to the top, the undeniable winners. So you'll know exactly what works and what does not. Because shockingly, only 2% of men in the US are actually at 15% body fat or lower. Which means a staggering 98% of men are actually over 15% body fat. So Jeff, should we include cardio to get lean like you? Or is it keeping us fat?
The next big mistake that you need to avoid after your workout is doing cardio.
Looks like it's killing our gains and keeping us fat. So how do we use cardio to lean down then, without ending up with that GLP-1 skinny fats look?
The inclusion of cardiovascular fitness into your regime is one of the most important things that you can make sure you do if you want to live a longer, higher quality life. So when do you do it? On your off days. In other words, on your non-strength training days.
Hold up, an off day, it's not a 5-mile run. That is an on day in my book. But Jeff does have a point here with the interference effects from concurrent training. There's a well-known study showing that endurance training alongside weight training can indeed kill your gains. But let's step back into reality for a second. I'm guessing you're trying to look fit, get fit, and be healthy. Not aiming to go to the gym and do this, or get as strong as this guy right here. Well, as it turns out, cardio-related muscle loss fears are only true if you're at an advanced training level. And by advanced, the general consensus is equivalent to a 180-pound guy squatting 315 to 455 pounds, benching 275 to 365 pounds, and deadlifting 405 to 545 pounds. In fact, for a normal athletic guy, the data shows that unless you're doing extreme amounts of cardio like marathon training, cardio will actually help you maintain all your muscle and help you maintain more total body strength, because moderate amounts of cardio actually amp up the signal your body needs to hold onto muscle. So for most of us, cardio is part of our leaning down routine to 10% body fat. Totally fine. Post-workout, on off days, whenever, just get it in. The health benefits and the calorie burn, they're crucial for looking fit and feeling fit. And that's why cardio scare tactics, they belong in the gym bro noise tier. Now, we've got a food fight brewing. Old school gym bros versus the new wave anabolic recipe crew. So first, let's see what Big John Anderson is bringing to the table.
Ground beef in a bag, a little bit of sauce that you enjoy. Eating on the run has never been so easy. Look, give it a squeeze, out it comes. Looks kind of nasty, I know. It's actually really good.
Before you freak out, yes, that's ground beef in a bag. No, Big John is not reenacting 2 girls, 1 cup. But what about these new age anabolic recipe guys? They're flipping your favorite comfort foods like pizza and donuts into high protein, low calorie versions like this.
Last but not least, we got that cinnamon sugar. One more. These are incredible.
Chicken pizza, guy. Oh my, look at that. Oh, baby.
Wow, donuts with only 170 calories and 14 grams of protein. And a whole pizza for under 800 calories and 112 grams of protein. But why do strategies like beef in a bag and low-calorie treats exist? Well, it's because the average person actually makes over 200 food decisions every single day. So having a meal strategy, it helps eliminate those on-the-go choices and it helps you keep on track. But the thing is, your brain has got 2 crazy survival mechanisms working against you. 1, dynorphins. These sneaky opioid messengers send a signal to eat now, even when you're not physically hungry, because they get activated whenever your body senses a change in energy stores, like when your body fat levels start to drop. So what's the fix? Not food, it's actually proper hydration. That's water plus electrolytes to keep your brain calm. And second up, AGRP neurons. When you're in a calorie deficit, your hypothalamus cranks up these hunger alarms, and this triggers a stress response with cortisol levels gradually rising until you eat. And the fix here? It's not travel bag protein or low calorie treats either. It's high volume, high fiber foods like fruits and veggies. Because you need to force that stomach stretch response to signal to your brain that we're all good. You cannot spend every day trying to outsmart your brain's survival instincts. It just does not work long term. And that's why these surface level food strategies, they've got to land in the use with caution tier. There's some golden habits like beef in a bag or daily protein donuts, but you cannot rely on them as your only solution. Now let's bring in exercise scientist Menno Henselmans for some hard numbers for our workouts to get lean and defined.
The benefits of training volume increased for most individuals 43 sets per muscle group per week, and even at that point the data simply became unclear. There was no hard hard evidence of any negative results of higher training volumes. Overall, in the analysis, the more volume people did, the more muscle they gained.
Wait, up to 43 sets per week and still gaining muscle. But here's the thing, your body will break down long before you hit those high volume gains. Plus, let's get real, who has the time to spend 2 to 3 hours per day in the gym just chasing training volume? So if 43 sets is the upper range, what is the minimum that we can get away with?
However, again, on the flip side, it's worth noting that the minimum effective volume was only 4 sets per muscle group per week, so you can also make do with lower volumes.
And there we go, gym bro. Boom, 4 sets per body part per week. That is all it takes to stimulate muscle growth. And this is where minimum effective dose training comes in. You see, your body, it adapts fast. So jumping all that way to 43 sets, you blow past all those gains you could have made from 4 to 43. So keep volumes low and gradually increase it over time. But you do have to train very hard with low volumes for maximum results. And we can do this with intensity techniques. And here's one of my favorites you can do at home with no equipment: mechanical drop sets. Here, the goal is to use the same movement pattern, but make each exercise easier as you start to fatigue. So start with a tough exercise like a plyometric push-up and go until you can't keep good form. Then switch to an easier variation like knuckle push-ups and push to failure again. And finally finish with slow eccentric push-ups until your horizontal pushing muscles are completely tapped out. This way we recruit maximum muscle fibers and force fast adaptations. This minimum effective dose training using intensity techniques to squeeze out that maximum progress in minimal time, it's freaking awesome. No wasted hours, just pure progress and straight into the undeniable winner tier. And if you're looking to get fit, look fit, and still have a life outside of the gym, you're in the right place. Because that's exactly why I use my experience as a food scientist and personal trainer to create Anti-Gym Bro Fitness right here in Austin, Texas. Basically the cheat code for getting results without turning your life into some gym bro cliche. Now this channel, it might be small, but I appreciate every single subscriber that joins me on this journey. And to show you my gratitude for subscribing, I want to help you crush your fitness goals personally. So hit that subscribe button, then send me an email with the subject line, "I'm subscribed," to the email address you can see on screen now. And when you do that, I'll send you my Anti-Gym Bro toolkit, loaded with every tip and hack you need to get lean fast. Plus, I want to personally connect with you and do what I'm best at, which is help you optimize your fitness plan so you get the results you're looking for. So actually message me so I can help you. Or if you just want more awesome Anti-Gym Bro fitness tips, hit subscribe anyway. Now let's make 2025 the year that you finally get lean without the gym bro routine. Now we've got Paul Revelia, and he's got a secret weapon for shredding.
I've used walking for all my fat loss in the past. However, there is a big difference between walking and walking for the purposes of losing body fat.
And Paul's got some serious experience to back this up. Check out all these videos. So what does Paul mean with walking with the purpose of losing body fat?
When I'm trying to get lean, when I'm trying to get shredded like you see here on the screen, get my body fat down well below 10%, yes, I use walking. However, guys, I'm not walking on a track at a casual pace. No, I change the intensity of the exercise.
It sounds simple, but how can we increase the intensity of walking without turning it into moderate intensity cardio? And why does it work so well to get shredded? Well, unlike high intensity cardio, walking taps into a process called beta oxidation, which primarily uses fats for fuel. So to increase the intensity of walking, while staying below zone 3 to maximize fat burning, we need to make specific adjustments. First off, we add weight to our walking. So use a weighted vest or a backpack. And a good rule of thumb, add around 10 to 15 pounds to your current body weight. Then for every pound that you lose, add 1 pound back into the backpack to maintain the intensity. And secondly, the key is to stay in your zone 2 heart rate zone, because this is the sweet spot for burning fat. Any higher and you'll start going pale anaerobic and move away from burning pure body fat. So use a wearable tracker like an Apple Watch or a Whoop to monitor your heart rate and calculate your zone 2 like this. Take 220 minus your age to find your maximum heart rate. For example, I'm 37, so my maximum heart rate is 183 beats per minute. And zone 2 is roughly 60 to 70% of your maximum heart rate. So for me, the top of zone 2 is around 128 beats per minute. Weighted walking, it burns pure fat and requires no gym. It's insanely effective, but the time commitment can make it tough for some people to stay consistent. And that's why it just misses out on the top tier and it lands in the strong contender tier. Now it's my turn, and I'm tackling one of the most critical things you need to do to hit that 10% body fat mark. But before I get to my point, let's let Dr. Eric Berg set the stage with this.
The most dangerous way to lose weight.
Man, Dr. Berg, he never disappoints. What has he got this time?
Because 1 day of dry fasting is equal to 3 days of water fasting. By putting your body in a state where it can only get water from fat, so it's forced to burn more fat.
Holy moly, no food and no water to lean down. Dr. Berg coming in hot with a controversial take as usual. But there is a point behind Dr. Berg's madness, and it's fat adaptation. You see, fat adaptation, it turns your body into a fat burning machine by ramping up these two things. One, upgraded fat mobilization. Your body gets better at pulling fat from storage thanks to increased activity from the enzyme lipoprotein lipase. And two, mitochondrial optimization. Your cells now convert more stored body fat into energy because your mitochondria now upregulate fatty acid utilization with more CPT1 and more proteins involved in beta oxidation. And the easiest way to get fat adapted? Simply shrink your eating window to force your body to rely on stored body fat for fuel through the day. So if you're new to this, start with a typical intermittent fasting 16-8 method. 16 hours of fasting with an 8-hour eating window. Then gradually push your first meal back by 15 to 30 minutes per day until you find your ideal routine. Fat adaptation is a game changer for maximum fat loss without those energy crashes or cravings. But fasting strategies, they're not a one-size-fits-all. They're highly individual and take experimentation. And that's why fasting for fat adaptation has got to land in the hit or miss tier. And if you like what you heard in this video, hit subscribe below to keep learning how to get lean without the gym bro routine.